evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, 2020. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, local schools are welcoming students back into buildings. Jack Daniel's Distillery's master distiller is stepping down, and the Tullahoma Wildcats are making quick work of opponents this season as they easily win their first 3 games. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the 2 of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Hello everyone, Governor Bill Lee. The 2020 census is underway and more than 60% of Tennesseans have already been counted. I want to encourage every household that hasn't yet responded to the census to do so now. An accurate census will bring more of our federal tax dollars back to Tennessee communities to support services that we all like health care, education, roads, and so much more. Log on to 2020census.gov to answer some simple questions about the people living in your home. You can also respond by phone or mail in your questionnaire. It should only take a few minutes and can mean so much for your family and your community. Help shape the future of Tennessee by responding to the 2020 census today.
Welcome back. Tullahoma City Schools resumed in-person learning today after backing out of their county-wide agreed-upon hybrid schedule that was triggered by spiking COVID-19 cases in August. Tullahoma City Schools believe they have a handle on the pandemic in schools and will no longer participate in the plan originally worked out during the summer to coordinate with Manchester and Coffee County schools. School representatives released a video encouraging students and faculty to wear masks as students re-entered the buildings.
I wear my mask because I care about you.
I wear my mask to keep everyone safe.
I wear my mask to slow or stop the spread of COVID-19.
I wear a mask at school to protect you from the invisible germs that I may not know I have.
Mask up, Tullahoma City Schools!
After 12 years of leading production of the powerhouse Jack Daniel's whiskey brand, Jeff Arnett is stepping down as master distiller. Arnett stewarded the brand's continued global growth and executed a strategy that expanded the Jack Daniel's lineup with flavored brand extensions and super premium products that fetch higher prices, part of an industry-wide trend in American whiskey production. As master distiller, Arnett was responsible for overall whiskey-making operations at the famed distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Through the years, master distillers took on a new role as leading brand ambassadors to promote their products. Jack Daniel's, the flagship brand of Louisville, Kentucky-based Brown-Forman Corporation, is sold in more than 170 countries worldwide. Arnett's career at the distillery spanned nearly 20 years, and earlier roles included overseeing quality control and the brand's single-barrel program. Arnett said in a statement that his work at the distillery was, quote, "an incredible chapter in my life, and I look forward to spending some time to think about what the next chapter will hold. It was an honor and privilege to be one of only a handful of people to have served as master distiller of a brand known around the world as simply Jack," end quote. During his tenure, the brand introduced super premium whiskeys, including Sinatra Select, Single Barrel Barrel Proof, Single Barrel Heritage Barrel, and the Tennessee Tasters Limited Edition series. Several flavored whiskeys launched, including Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, Tennessee Fire, and Tennessee Apple. Arnett most recently turned his expertise towards the crafting of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye, the first new grain bill from the Jack Daniel distillery since Prohibition. Larry Combs, the distillery's senior vice president and general manager, thanked Arnett for his leadership in carrying on the brand's long tradition and said, quote, "He has worked tirelessly on behalf of the distillery and brought with him the creativity and the expertise that makes Jack Daniel's the most valuable whiskey brand in the world," end quote. The distillery said it would have an announcement on Arnett's replacement in coming weeks. And we'll be right back with more Newsleader after these messages.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
Many Tennesseans are wondering, do masks really fight the spread of COVID-19? A recent study shows they do. 2 hairstylists worked for several days with respiratory symptoms and serviced patrons in close contact. Both stylists later tested positive for COVID-19. 139 clients were exposed to coronavirus after being in direct contact. Both stylists and their customers opted to wear masks. No COVID-19 symptoms were identified among the 139 exposed clients or their secondary contacts. Out of the clients that were tested, all tested negative for COVID-19. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. After an impressive 42-7 road win over Marshall County Friday night, Tullahoma found itself moving up in the Tennessee football prep polls and is now number 3 in their Class 4A rankings. Prior to Friday, the Wildcats were ranked 6th, while Marshall County held the 3rd spot in the rankings that are voted on by sports writers from across the state. Following Friday's results, Tullahoma moved up to 3rd spot in the state rankings, while the Tigers dropped to 7th. So far this season, Tullahoma has dominated its opponents and in 3 games has outscored its opponents 122-33. The Wildcats are averaging 40 points per game and averaging 346 offensive yards per game. Tullahoma has been led by its rushing attack, which has averaged 227 yards per contest this season. The Wildcats rushed for a season-high 273 yards against Marshall County Friday night. While Tullahoma's offense has been able to put up points at a high rate, the Wildcats' defense has only surrendered 11 points per contest. Tullahoma has yet to allow 300 yards in a game this season, giving up just 233 yards per contest. The Wildcats have been able to shut down their opponents' rushing attacks, surrendering just 78 yards per game on the ground. In the win over Marshall County, Tullahoma held the Tigers to just 35 yards on rushing. Tullahoma will next travel to Franklin County, who are 0-3, for a non-region contest this Friday. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Newsleader's John Gray spoke with Coach Olive about the big win over Marshall County.
Very good win. First region win, and Marshall County has pretty much been the top dog. I mean, even on the years, Maplewood and Nolensville, even on the years that they're able to compete, even Marshall beat Nolensville last year, even though Nolensville went all the way to the semifinals. Marshall County has been the lead dog of this region, and so it was measuring stick, number 1, and number 2, if you don't win the region, When you're competing against one of the top competitors, a win is worth 2 because tiebreaker goes to the team that has won. So it was a huge win, and I'm telling you, I stayed up till 2 o'clock last night watching this video over again. It may be the most dominating line performance that we've had since I've been at Tullahoma. If you are a football purist and you just watch the offensive line and the defensive line, they played really, really well. Offensive line in particular, those 5, I want to mention them real quick. JT Taylor plays at center. Your right guard's a senior, Tydrell Mitchell. Your left guard is a junior, Ian Poe. Your right tackle is a junior, Caden Bradford. And your left tackle is a junior, Logan Crouch. And Garrett Harris rotates in there along with Jaquez Elliott, which are 2 seniors. So you got 4 juniors, 3 seniors in there, and you want to watch some really physical football. Zero in on the offensive line today.
It was impressive, and I call them the road graders, and that's exactly what they did last night. And, you know, Marshall County, watching them, Randy Wilson and I were sitting down in the corner down where they warm up. You know, it's not like they're not a talented team and not a big team.
Right. They're not as big as we are. They're 6-footers that weigh about the same as we do.
Right.
And ours are 6'3", 6'4", with the exception of Tydrell. But Tydrell played really well last night. I'm so proud of him. He has come on this senior year here, and he got after some people last night. And I think they have fun getting after them now. They're having fun getting after them. So, you know, skill players get all the headlines, and you'll see them make plenty of plays. As you said, our safeties are really improving,
they're
are
growing into the position.
And you know, we played against the most athletic team probably that we had seen so far this year. We played definitely against the most physical team, and that was one of the things that we talked with our young men about, that we have to be physical, and I think you'll see that Tullahoma, for last night at least, we were the most physical team.
And, you know, one of the things that I always have enjoyed about Tullahoma football, being a ex-player, excuse me. Matter of fact, last week I was sitting on the field thinking 54 years ago was the last time I was on a football field. And I enjoyed playing. I was blocking back for Dub Cooper, which was a glorified guard, and we threw the ball maybe 3 times a month.
Well, if you have a good football team, you normally have a good defense.
And our defense last night had a couple of times that they needed to stand up and be accounted, and let me tell you what, they stood up and were accounted.
Yes, they had a shutout.
Yeah.
All right, if we kept our first people out there, we would have gotten a shutout. But there were others that needed to play, and as one of the starters saying, "Come on, coach, let me go back in. Let us finish this. Let's not let them score." And I said, "Did you enjoy playing tonight?" Yeah. I said, "Don't you think they're enjoying playing right now?" And so anyway.
Did you enjoy playing when you were their age, when I let you get in?
Yeah.
How you think you got as good as you are?
So anyway, it was good.
It was great.
The annual One Day of Hope event that is held at the Coffee County Fairgrounds and was planned for October 24th has been postponed. Ray Markram, president of One Day of Hope, said that the event is being rescheduled because of the shortages of sufficient quantities of food and hygiene items needed. Tentatively, organizers plan to reschedule for March of 2021. Markram added that they plan to have a regularly scheduled October 2021 event as well. The One Day of Hope annual event provides free meals, clothing, dentistry work, health screening, job placement, and other services to residents of Coffee and surrounding counties in need of assistance. Last year, approximately 2,750 guests were served, 451 medical services were provided, 132 dental patients were seen, 3,200 meals were distributed, 2,250 bags of groceries plus fresh produce were given away. 295 Bibles were distributed. 4,000 children's books were distributed. 85 people received job counseling. 126 people received haircuts, and 131 family photos were taken. And after these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Last week, Tennessee Education Commissioner Penny Schwinn spoke to parents' frustration about getting information about COVID-19 infections in schools.
We deeply believe that parents and community members need and deserve to be able to make informed decisions, and the state has worked for weeks to determine a path for providing more information to promote public safety while protecting student privacy. The Department of Education will launch a new dashboard which will display information reported by districts about COVID-19 in their school communities. The dashboard will include the following: district reported information on the number of new positive COVID-19 cases among students for the prior week and the week before, and for staff for the prior week and the week before. Include the primary operating model for schools. Include the number of schools that are conducting in-person, remote, and hybrid instructional models. And at the district level, it will also include whether the district has adopted a critical infrastructure designation for certain workers, and a link to the district's continuous learning plan so that families can know what learning will look like in the case of a remote experience. Users who visit the dashboard will have two ways to access the information. They can access it through a map feature where you can pinpoint the district location or the school location on a map, or they can do it through a drop-down menu feature where you can drill down by our core regions or by the district itself. And as we've discussed with FERPA, protecting personally identifiable information for our youngest Tennesseans is critically important. We've worked closely with our attorneys for the Tennessee Department of Health and the Attorney General's office to determine the approach we can utilize, and the governor has notified the U.S. Department of Education of our plan to provide more information while protecting individual privacy. To ensure those protections exist, schools with fewer than 50 students will not be reported in the dashboard. Schools with fewer than 5 positive student or employee COVID-19 cases will be listed without a specific number. The dashboard will be updated every Friday by local school districts. We anticipate good partnership with our districts to make that data timely and accessible. And as we work through the process, we will address reporting issues and provide support for folks in the field. We've been working incredibly closely with our districts over the last 6 months, and we continue to have those strong partnerships that will allow us to provide the level of transparency and responsibility with data that we have come to expect. And then just in closing, I wanted to say how proud I am of the work that's happening across the state. I had the chance to visit an ASD school as well as Germantown schools yesterday, and what I've seen is the same thing that I've seen in Middle and East Tennessee. Districts are taking every precaution necessary. They are working incredibly hard. Students are engaged in learning and excited to be back in school. We think that this additional data reporting will allow for continued transparency so that families can make the best decision for their students, and kids across the state of Tennessee can continue to learn so we accelerate achievement.
We'll be right back with more Newsleader after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stamping Nab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stan McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stan McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
Welcome back. With the crowd rising to its feet and a standing ovation, 7 entries entered the Big Oval in the Tennessee Walking Horse World Grand Championship stake this Saturday night. 2 workouts into the class and the traditional confirmation examination, it was time for the spotlight to search for the 2020 World Grand Champion. This year, Masters Razzle and Jazz with rider John Allen Calloway rode to the Ultimate Tennessee Walking Horse Award in the walking horse industry for the Allen Ridley family from Shelby, North Carolina. It is the first World Grand Championship stake win for John Allen, though he is no stranger to many other top titles. Following the win, John Allen was congratulated in the ring by his father Allen and brother Bill, who have also made World Grand Championship rides.
Next, we welcome number 923, Masters Razzle and Jazz. John Allen Calloway is in the iron for the Allen Ridley family of Shelby, North Carolina. Masters Razzle and Jazz and John Allen Calloway, number 923. He is running walk time, let him walk home. As your championship entry, secure to run and walk.
On Friday night, special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation arrested Robert Allen Mowry, age 50, and charged him with 1 count of malice murder for the death of James Richard Harris, age 54, in December of 1994. On Thursday, December 22, 1994, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's regional office in Calhoun was requested by the Walker County Sheriff's Office to assist in a death investigation. James Richard Harris was found deceased at the entrance to his property in Chickamauga, Georgia. Harris had been murdered and robbed as he was leaving for work. In 2009, investigators received information from Crime Stoppers about the murderer's possible identity. The GBI, Walker County Sheriff's Office, and Chattanooga Police Department pursued additional leads which brought the case closer to a resolution. However, there was not enough evidence to make an arrest. In 2020, police developed new evidence following surveillances and interviews conducted by the GBI, the Walker County Sheriff's Office, the TBI, Tullahoma Police Department, Coffee County Sheriff's Department, and the Nashville Police Department. This new evidence led to a match to evidence from the original crime scene. Over 25 years later, Mowry was taken into custody in Nashville, Tennessee. This joint investigation will be turned over to the Walker County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Michelle Matthews from the Coffee County 4-H Extension Office, Bonnie Gamble from the Manchester Parks and Rec Department, and we'll speak with the state representative for the 2020 census about how and why you should fill out your census form, as well as that and more on this week's Living. And stay with us, we'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The highest standard of excellence requires dedication and commitment. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of excellence in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1925 at 102 degrees. Our record low was in 2017 at 47 degrees. The average high for this day is 84 and the average low is 62. Mostly clear for tonight with a low of 63. Sunny skies for Wednesday with a high of 88 and a low of 65, and mostly sunny on Thursday with a high of 87 and a low of 67. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.